back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up.
Back up.
I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I don't need Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Bullock out now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Right there in the middle, 55. Down to lose one.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 23-yard line.
Ladies! There. 55 to Mike. And watch the leg.
Here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Passing. It's Dalton. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. Now they couldn't get anything going there out of the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Squeeze down the middle.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Now on 2nd and 13. Dalton. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going the wrong.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a carry for Bernard. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a first carry for their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From midfield here, Dalton. And that will be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Returnable for Lockett. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me. Hey, 0-0-0. Just right.
Throwing again. Wilson. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Carson. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, Plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. A reminder, coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut, and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. On 2nd and 11 now. Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 16 yards, a first down.
First down, Bengals.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
93, 52, 93.
And Dalton to throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Credit the sack to Malik Jefferson.
Let's go.
Taken down back at the 34-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Well, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Another try after the first down sack. Dalton on the screen. Bernard. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening.
A.J. Green. And all the way down to the 37. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on first down. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. On second and 9, Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. That's going to be caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Green as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Bullock good on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken about the 12. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half. It's Wilson escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And that is incomplete here. So we are at halftime. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Dalton. And he's going to be brought down. his own 6-yard line. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 at the 19. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run with Carson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Preload. Check 31.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Here's Carson, and he will not be denied. Into the end zone, touchdown Seahawks. It's a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Dalton here from the gun. That's complete. Bernard. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On the toss, Bernard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton. And Green with a catch left side. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack by Jordan Willis. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. This is Carson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's Carson. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way. Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They go play action with Wilson. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Jordan Willis picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 4th down. Here's Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught at the 10. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Hey, they made no bones about it. They wanted to throw this rookie right into the fire, see what he could do. He shows what he can do there.
And you have to really put the time and effort in, because playing a receiver in the NFL is a difficult task. And for a rookie, all that you have to learn to get on the same page with your quarterback, that's excellent coaching. And how about how he's picked things up?
Picking things up in a big way with a big play in his NFL debut. First down, here's the run with Cook. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll begin here with Bernard. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner, coming off a 3rd straight All-Pro season.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati first. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big-time run there by Anderson. 53 yards. So a big play there running right. The DN couldn't get out. They couldn't stop him. It was the offense setting the edge and getting the big gain.
Yeah, essentially when you're the defensive end, when they talk about setting the edge so the offense has to bounce it one way or the other, instead that edge was actually rounded off by the offense and continued deep down the field.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and goal, Dalton, his pass caught at the 4. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to let it fly. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big play there for Seattle. 49 yards. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
Get ready. Touch 50, touch 50.
Wilson to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further.
Hey, 0.
Here's Wilson. And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up second and 10. Now Bernard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bengals on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The tackle made back at his own 49.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. 36 power. 57's the night, watch 57. Hey, come on.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by B.W. Webb. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Let's go. Interception, baby. All day. All day.
Guys take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 47-yard line.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the Bengals, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's